Welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence for E-commerce Ask the Experts. Our weekly podcast and video show offers e-commerce platform store owners, store developers, app providers, investors, and marketing agencies insights from discussions with marketing and e-commerce experts. Grow faster with tips, tricks, and proven strategies, and learn what's new in e-commerce digital marketing for 2022 and beyond. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence for E-commerce Ask the Experts. I'm your host, Marissa Morgan. I'm also the Business Development Manager at Engage. On behalf of myself and our entire team at Engage, welcome to today's podcast. Today, we're talking about SMS messaging. It is an incredible tool to help you grow and scale your business now more than ever with its 98% open rate. We at Engage actually think it's the most powerful tool right now to grow and scale. And I've got a fun statistic for you to kick off today's show. Did you know that right now, 80% of all Shopify traffic comes from mobile devices? If you're not using SMS messaging, SMS marketing, you are missing out on a whole lot of business and a whole lot of opportunities to connect with your consumers where they are. And of course, that is on their mobile devices. By the way, everybody, silence your cell phones. You're going to meet a really incredible guest today. His name is Rudzinski. Oh, I hope I said that right. I practiced. He's going to let me know in just a moment. And when you meet Rich, you're going to find out he's quite the expert. He's an entrepreneur. He founded his own company. We'll find out more about that. And he's also an e-commerce expert. And he's going to share all of his insights on SMS messaging and how you can use it to grow and scale your business now into 2023 and beyond. Before I introduce you to our guest, Rich, I do, of course, want to share with you that all of this incredible, invaluable information is brought to you by Engage. And if you haven't checked out Engage yet, you need to go to www.ngagge.com. That's engage.com. And take our app for a test drive. Our app is called SMS Messaging for Shopify stores. If you're currently using Shopify, our app makes it easy for you to not only build your customer list faster, but to increase your sales with automations, segmentation of your customers, and also the ability to promote new products, sales, and all kinds of different ways to connect and grow your consumer community through text. We'll learn more about all of the benefits of SMS today, but when today's podcast is over, I urge you to go to engage.com, download our app for a 45-day free trial, and with that free trial, you get 5,000 free SMS messages to use. So you've got nothing to risk and a whole lot of business to gain. Okay, time for me to introduce you to today's special guest joining us from Seattle. However, he spent a lot of time down in San Diego, which is where he started his company, Tragic Media. We'll learn more about that in a moment. His name is Rich Rudzinski. Man, Rich, I think I'm butchering your last name. Am I?
It's close enough. Close enough.
Okay, say it for me one more time.
Rudzinski.
Rudzinski.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. I got it. Man, I try so hard to get everybody's name spot on, and I'm successful 7 out of 10 times. I probably should work on that. Well, you guys, if you don't know who Rich is, you need to. Rich is the founder, as I mentioned, of Tragic, a US-based software consulting firm. Over the last 13 years, Rich and his team all over the country have helped founders and businesses tackle their biggest e-commerce challenges, which makes him a perfect guest for our series. Tragic has worked with a plethora of e-commerce frameworks over the years, from Magento to Duprel Commerce. I'm not familiar with that company, but I've heard of Magento. And of course, WooCommerce, and we all know Shopify. Fun fact about Rich, he is a reptile enthusiast. And he shared with me before our show, he's the proud dad to a rhino iguana daughter. And I'm currently watching a really crazy Netflix show right now called like The Croc Hunter. So when he said he was a reptile enthusiast, I got a few chills go down my spine because I'm kind of scared of snakes. But when he shared he's a rhino iguana daddy, I kind of felt a little better and not so scared about what might be lurking in his house right now. So share with us the name of your iguana daughter, Rich.
Her name is Goya.
Goya. And
Yeah.
what is that from?
I actually named her after a Mexican like WWE wrestler, female wrestler, Goya Kong. And it's just this amazing athletic beast of a woman that just wrestles like crazy, and that's exactly the temperament of Goya. She's the sweetest thing, but when she wants something, she's going to get it.
Well, iguanas are cool, very fascinating
Yep.
for sure. But I know our audience wants help with their e-commerce marketing. They want to know how to get ahead. Technology is changing, customers' behavior is changing, especially now more than ever with the pandemic, kind of at our heels. So share with us a little bit more before we dive into our specific topic of SMS messaging. Share with us a little bit more about what your company, your digital company, Tragic Media, helps its clientele with. What is your niche?
Yeah, we're really a technology focused agency. So a lot of other agencies focus on design or on marketing, but we're focused on the code itself, on development, on integrations, custom theming, those types of things. So we help our clients in the e-commerce space. We've been doing e-commerce since the very beginning of starting my company. I've experience with it previous to that, and we've evolved as e-commerce has evolved. And so we help our clients to migrate stores, move from one platform to another platform, integrate
Mm.
fulfillment integrations, ERP integrations, store changes, theme changes, troubleshooting, all the technical elements. We have a great design team, but we really focus on that technical aspect of it. So over the years, we were help people to migrate from different stores. When Shopify blew up, a lot of our clients moved from Magento to Shopify, which was a big data transfer and integration there. Drupal Commerce Drupal is like a WordPress rival, but they had a nice commerce suite, but they kind of went downhill, and WooCommerce continues to rise. I know that Engage is going to be releasing WooCommerce app soon here, but Shopify is really the one that is dominating the market. I think SMS is really exciting because it's one of the biggest changes that's come. I think mobile, when all the stores moved to mobile, and the users started interacting a lot more with mobile, which is a trend that continues to take off even more. And you think that it already happened, but it keeps growing and growing as the best way to reach your customers. And I think SMS is like the newest, most exciting thing to happen to e-commerce. The ability to interact directly with your customer. There's just so many great benefits to it. And I think a lot of store owners are hesitant to get it because maybe they think it's really technical. But as you know, Marissa, it's a lot easier to set up than you would think.
And I think having you on our show, coming from that technical standpoint, with the technical expertise, technical agency, technology is good, because I think technology is one of the things that small to mid-sized businesses or even startups, that's probably the one thing that makes them a little intimidated or scared is, well, I want to do this, but I don't know how. And we always tell our audience, do what you do best. If you're the founder and you are the idea person, work on the ideas. Don't get scared about the technology. That's what, companies like yours and companies like ours, Engage both. That's what we're good at. So let us help you. Let us, worry about that. And you do what you do. And then those of us who have a technology game, an app to help you, or an agency to help you, let us do what we do. And together, synergistically, you're going to get ahead. If you try to do everything, we know how that goes. It just never works, right?
Great advice.
Yeah. For those of you watching our video show, welcome to our faces and the screen and the excitement and the energy of a video show. For those of you listening on the podcast, welcome to your audio experience. We're going to hit you both up with a great outline of a few of the things we're going to talk about benefit-wise of SMS messaging in just a minute. Before I share that, though, I have a few fun statistics I think we should share. 70%, Rich, of all e-commerce sales will come from mobile in 2024. That is Shopify's prediction. 70% of all e-commerce sales, all platforms, everything will come from mobile devices by 2024, says Shopify. Today, Shopify says 80% of all their traffic comes from mobile devices. And then here's another fun fact. 80% of shoppers already have an SMS relationship with their favorite brands. That doesn't shock me. Do any of those statistics shock you?
Oh, no, not at all. This is definitely the, evolution trend where everything's been heading. And I think it just reinforces how important it is for store owners to, get on this. Don't hesitate, because it's really very easy and the benefits are huge.
Well, let's talk about those benefits. For those of you watching the video, you can read through this with me. For those of you listening on our audio podcast, I'll read through some of the benefits of SMS messaging. Well, first and foremost, SMS with its 98% open rate is the most powerful tool for growing your brand in 2023. That's our opinion, but I know a lot of people would agree with you. It's a huge tool with so much value. Few of the benefits, and we'll talk through these. Add new customers with list building tools. Target campaigns with segmentation to just those who want to buy or those who want to buy a specific product. Create automations to increase sales and save time. And then retain customers with premium support with two-way messaging. Now, those are things I know our app and Engage will do. There are other apps out there, of course. Some may have all of these advantages. Some may only have a few. We'll talk through these. Let's talk first, Rich, if you're cool with it, just about the ability to add customers and have a customer list that you can use and interact with, when you use an SMS tool. How can
Yeah.
that benefit a company when they're trying to grow and scale and connect?
Yeah, well, I think it's just, people have their marketing lists, but email is a very difficult medium these days. The amount of messages that end up in spam are really overwhelming, and it can be a huge detriment to your marketing efforts. With SMS, because the user has to opt into that, it gets delivered. The delivery rate is insanely high, and as Marissa said, the open rate is 98%. So you get that direct communication, and it's really easy to then add those customers to your marketing list, to your segmented list. You have other data, with them about what products they built, and that allows you to better personalize your messaging, which it creates a more engaging and delightful customer experience.
Ooh, you said our favorite word, customer experience. Customer experience is such an important part of any customer's journey with any brand or any product. And we all know as consumers, when you've had a bad or memorably, not good memorably, like an awful experience that you can't shake with any sort of brand, or even just a slight inconvenience with the brand, whether it's in the shipping or trying to check out, from your cart, or feeling like you're getting spammed by a company, like anything that really makes the experience not seamless and not positive is something that we do tend to remember. And it's something that quickly can turn us off immediately from wanting to connect with a brand. Am I right?
Absolutely. I think it's, one of those with great power. SMS marketing is so powerful and so amazing, but at the same time, it can quickly become the most painful spam that your customer
Mm.
experience, because then it's direct, it's personal, it's instant, and it's annoying if they're trying to block, unsubscribe. And that's why having a really good tool, really good app that lets you manage these customer lists and lets you make sure that you're only sending messaging that your customers want is so very important, because with this great tool, you want to make sure that you're using it properly. You don't want to abuse it.
Absolutely. Well, that brings us right to the next talking point and benefit, which is segmentation. Being able to segment your customer list. What are some of the benefits to that that tool?
Well, exactly like we just spoke about, like segmentation is very important. You want to make sure that your phone numbers and the SMS that you're sending are kept in good reputation. You want to make sure that your customers are having a great experience. And
I mean, great experience is probably just the key, and also feeling like you can build a community with your customers. I
well,
know, oh, go ahead.
so sorry. I
Yeah.
just had a brain fart and lost my train of thought, and then it jumped back to me. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that just that personalization is so important that you're sending the right messages, the messaging that your customers want, the ones that they subscribe to, and then it also is super powerful because you have these segmented lists, and you can build off of prior purchases. And
Mm.
make sure that you're sending special deals or information to these very targeted user groups, and you're going to have such better performance that way because you already know information about these customers that you can build on for your marketing. So that personalization, it's great for the customer experience, but it's really, really powerful for the brand because you have all this data and information available. Is this a recent customer? What did they buy? What product did they buy? What are they interested in? And then you can cater to that to then make your marketing so much more impactful. Your campaigns will be so much more successful. So it's very important to have these segmented, personalized lists.
You made a really good point there too, because one thing, certainly hosting this podcast over the last year and a half, that I have learned is it is much more expensive to go out and find a new customer than it is to maintain a relationship with a current customer. And if you can make your customer feel special, if you can make your customer feel like they're part of a community, reward your customer for being a loyal shopper, keep your customer in the know when products come out that fit their needs. If you can do all that through a simple text message, and like you said, not a constant barrage of texts, but the simple, well thought out campaign or the automated message that goes to just customers of a certain level or of a certain product. If you can do that, I mean, imagine how many more loyal, happy customers who will feel connected to your brand that you can generate with very little effort or expense, really.
That
You
also
know what?
allows for
Yeah.
the organic, building of your brand too, because when customers have a great experience, they share it with their friends, with their family, and then other people will learn about that as opposed to, them being harassed or spammed too much and then having sharing a negative story. But again, this is a really powerful tool, and it just creates a more personalized, really engaging experience for the customer, and it feels makes I think it makes the e-commerce process a lot more like the in-store process. It just gives you that more
Yeah.
personalization with like your order updates, with um, answering questions, because it is a two-way communication with the brand. So
You know what's funny that you say that? Two things. With our app, we actually have a phone line that is shown at the top of the app inside our app. So if you have a question or, something that you need tech help with, or maybe you even want help installing or using the app, there's a phone number that actually goes to a real person that you can either call or text for help. It's not like, oh, here's an email us your problem, or a form where it's like, here, give me your name and tell me your issue. Like, you can actually text an actual live human, a human, and have that connection and get an answer within, maybe a couple hours, if not right away, and get a text back from someone who can help you and guide you to where you need to be for some tech help, or even a phone call. It's pretty incredible. And I think that we set that up purposefully at Engage because we know being able to text is such a convenient way to get your needs met, whether it's service or sales or help of any sort. And I think for companies like you just shared, having that text relationship does feel a little more personalized, and um, certainly also two-way text is something interesting because I noticed some companies allow engaging in two-way text. They have, even if they have what we call like a short form code or short code number, like a 5 or 6 digit number versus a full phone number. Um, some businesses allow text back, any words, not just stop or Y for yes. You know what I mean? They truly allow back and forth texting. But I have noticed some companies are more one way if they're sending out massive amounts of text to massive groups of people, like let's say the bank, right? So it is interesting how that can work, but two-way messaging really does make customers also feel heard and connected. And like if there's an issue, they can easily get that issue resolved.
Yeah, and I think like, using that in certain campaigns or certain, flows versus others, like you mentioned, maybe if you're sending out a mass, email campaign, you don't want to allow that, but like on your orders, or order text updates, of course, if there's a
Yeah.
problem, you want them to be able to connect. And I just want to applaud Engage for having such great support. I feel like in 2022, that's like the bane of the customer experience, is having to deal with support and like find how many hoops you have to jump through just to talk to somebody to resolve your issue. So really great. That's, I think a sign of a really solid company and a great startup, great app. So well
We're
done.
trying. We're trying. We love the app. And we launched it in May. And right now you can use it with Shopify, and WooCommerce is coming in about 30 days. And in 2023, we're hoping to be able to have integration for so many other e-commerce platforms, because we just realized the importance of this. It's so crazy. This was once just a social thing, which is really crazy. And like a lot of things, social media, now there's a way to use something that works on a social level for business and for companies. And I know you mentioned kind of the importance of using it properly. And I do agree, you got to make sure that you use any tool properly and have respect for your customers. But one thing I like, there's a company that I'm in a texting relationship with. But I like the transparency. They will text me because I have an auto subscription. They'll always text me and say, "Hey, your order's shipping out in 3 days. Do you still need it on this date? Do you want to change the date, or do you want to cancel it for this month?" And I love that because there are so many times I forget, oh, this is coming, on the 15th of the month. And
Mhm.
sometimes I get that text and I'm like, oh, I actually really don't need it. I'm really glad they asked me. So I think text also does allow companies to even have a higher level of communication and transparency, and do the right thing with their clients as well and their customers as well.
That's so great because I get those on one of the subscription orders I get, but I get it as an email and I always find it after it's already too late. And I'm like, oh, I did not need it this month. I guess it's coming anyway.
Yes, yes. Let's talk for just a second about spam and junk folders. Even as a well-established business, I would say 30% of my emails out to show guests or people I'm trying to connect with go to spam or junk. It's just depending on filters, depending on what people are doing. So let's just talk for a minute about the fact that I don't really think they don't have anywhere to go, right? Except your text box, right? There's really not a spam folder for text, is there?
Because they users have to opt into it. There's like it's already like a verified thing. There's not really a spam. There is, you do sometimes get like delivery issues, but they're so much smaller. So
Yeah.
I think on the Engage site, I think it shows just the 98% open rates, like that huge. I think the bigger part of that is that's 98% open rates of a 99% deliverability rate, so it's
Yeah.
everybody's getting it and everybody's opening it. So that's just not available in social media. It's not available, in email. It's something that's very powerful for SMS.
Well, one thing too, and I'm not sure of the exact statistics, so don't quote me on this, but I think it's like SMS right now has like a 98% open rate with like a 46% buy rate or something. So it's like of all the people opening it, which we can just say it's almost 100% at 98, right? Half of those people are actually making a purchase through a text, whether that is using a promo code or a sale. And maybe it's not on the first text, right? Maybe you might send a series of texts. It might be on the second one. Hey, letting someone know there's a annual holiday sale coming up starting on these dates. Use this code for 15% off our already sale prices, right? And then the day before the sale or the day the sale starts, it's like another reminder text. Hey, starting today, so it's maybe not always uh, you know, an exact statistic, but there's definitely such a huge and easy way to track that when you're doing it through SMS as well.
Yeah, I saw the Engage has some pretty amazing dashboards and analytics, which is great. I don't think you get some basic data from email, but I know even like when using our Mailchimp and stuff, like I don't get, I get some really basic. It's like open viewed, but you guys seem to have some really cool analytics that is available to your customers.
Yeah, we do. And that's great too, because we all know that customer experience is so important and key, especially now. But data is a huge part of how we figure out what's working and what's not, whether that's through A/B testing or, um, again, yeah, just response times, response rates, statistics on, sales versus messages sent, et cetera. I think it's great when you can get a lot of data. And you're right, email doesn't really offer unless you have like a click through link, and obviously I'm sure you can find out obviously the open, whether your emails are opened, but yeah, I think email definitely is much more difficult to track the success.
I think so. Like
Ah,
you said, the data driven marketing is the only way to play it. If you're just throwing your marketing out there and expecting it to work the first time, I think that you're missing a lot of opportunity there, because it's all about that iterative marketing, segmentation, A/B testing, seeing what works with certain types of customers, having, make sure you're building your personas properly and tracking those and updating those as your store is evolving, as your products are evolving, and as you get that data back.
and what's really cool too is I know our app does it and maybe others do as well. It's so easy when you use the right SMS app like Engage to actually get a form on your website so that when people go to your website, they can input their phone number. Hey, put your phone number in if you want a 15% off code. Hey, put your number in if you want to sign up for our blog, our newsletter, our outfit of the day, whatever it may be, right? And so it's once you have your SMS app and you're linking it with all your other kind of, network branches, it's really easy to integrate and really take your business to the next level.
Absolutely.
Well, Rich, I know I can talk a lot about this topic. I'm passionate about it because it's what we do, which is fun for me. Sometimes I have guests and they're talking about something, and I'm like, man, I don't even know what to say because I'm learning as we go. And this is something I'm very comfortable with. So I hope I didn't hijack our conversation too
Oh,
much.
I enjoyed it absolutely.
Good, good. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience? Any thoughts to wrap up why SMS is so fantastic before I share your contact information?
Like I said in the beginning, I think that some brands are just hesitant because it's new, or it might seem like hard or technical, but it's really easy. There's some great products out there like Engage. We've worked with a couple others as well, and uh, the benefits of it are so insane. They far outweigh any sort of hesitation or risk. If you have I know Engage offers, like you said, some great support. So if you have questions about it, follow up. If you need the help of more technical help, you can find companies like mine that can help you to set it up, integrate it in your store, whatever. But
Mhm.
most of it these days is a couple clicks and you're in. So really there shouldn't be anything stopping you. And the data, if you look up SMS 2022, and you see the data of how successful this medium is, like that should really seal the deal for you.
I do feel like there's really nothing to lose except a lot of business to be gained. For
Absolutely.
sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Well, you mentioned one thing, so of course I'm gonna mention it. Not quite yet, but coming soon with our app, we are gonna have a do it for you program. So if you
Nice.
want us to set it all up for you, we can, which is really, really helpful for people who maybe are a one-stop shop. Maybe it's a small mom and pop shop. Maybe they are on Shopify, but they're still like making t-shirts out of their house, and they have a small staff. There's definitely lots of different options. But until then, yeah, working with somebody like you guys at Tragic Media to help with the technical side of getting on board with SMS is definitely a smart move. And I feel like, again, strategizing your marketing plan to include SMS, but then just making sure you don't freak out about the technology side of it and trust that these apps are pretty simple to use. A lot of them have like no code bots, and you don't need a whole technical staff to be able to just simply implement and integrate SMS. You can reach out to Rich, you can use our app, and you can literally be up and running in a matter of minutes, which is incredible.
Yeah,
Love
super.
it.
Love it. Yeah.
Love it. I love it. Well, Rich, loved having you on the show today. Your insights and your expertise were a perfect fit for our series. You're an e-commerce expert, an e-commerce entrepreneur, the founder of an amazing digital marketing company that has been just leaps and bounds helping people. It's fun. You used to be hybrid, by the way, but you mentioned before we jumped into the topic in our show, now your whole team is fully remote. And and there's something I thought about, and I mentioned on our show last week. Now that people are really, I'll make up a number, but it's probably right. Maybe 70%, 80% of the world is almost fully remote, right? We're all shopping whenever we can and whenever we want because we're in our home offices. We're working. I've got pajama pants on, even though I'm wearing a blazer. But I'll be like working and doing stuff for Engage for 3 hours. And I take a lunch break and then I'm like on my phone, like shopping, like there's just so much more flexibility and we're all connected to our phones. So it makes sense that we're shopping online. It's just easy to do and it's convenient. And as long as that customer experience is there, I think we're going to continue to do it. So SMS is the tool you need to add to your arsenal if you're in e-commerce. And let's share how you can reach out to Rich for some help with that, actually. Rich, I'm going to share your LinkedIn information if that's okay.
Yeah, please do. I'm very active on LinkedIn. Would love to connect with anybody. If you have any questions or, just want to, learn more about what you're working on, I'd love to share it with my network. Or of course, if you have any technical issues looking to, redesign your store or integrate with a new fulfillment processor or something, please reach out and I can, definitely offer a consultation and would love to chat.
You guys can reach out to Rich and you can find him. I'm going to read the URL for you. It is linkedin.com/in/tragic rich. So you're going to search TRAGICRICH, and that obviously is for Tragic Media. So you can also search his company online. Your company has a cool tagline. I'm going to share your company as well. You guys check out www.tragic.media, no.com. So just tragic.media. Tell us your tagline, Rich. It's quite smart.
We've been preventing tech tragedy since 2009.
There you go. If you are on Shopify or WooCommerce, you're looking for some help with the technical side of things, as he mentioned, help with fulfillment, helping with your store, helping to integrate apps. I know Rich has partnered and has friends in the business that also have some great apps out there. Please reach out to Rich on LinkedIn, but obviously always respectfully, and leave him a note if you do that when you connect so he knows that you heard him on our podcast. Rich, thank you so much for joining us as our guest expert and sharing your insights with us. Anything else you want to say before I let you go?
No, thank you so much, Marissa. I really enjoyed the conversation. It was great to connect.
You're very welcome. Thanks for our little iguana lesson too. That was quite fun. Are you only an iguana dad or do you have any other reptiles in your house?
No, my girlfriend and I just moved in together. So we've been integrating all the reptiles with all the dogs. She has 3 dogs. And so this past month, we've been really working on building up the relationship between the iguana and the dogs. They are fascinated with her, especially the big pit bull. He just wants to play all day with her. And she doesn't seem to mind. She just kind of does her own thing. But it's been quite the experience and a lot of fun.
Rich Rudzinski. I got it. Rudzinski. Rich
Yes.
Rudzinski, the reptile enthusiast and digital technical marketing guru. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
Thanks, Marissa.
Have a great day. Man, week after week, we are bringing you the best guest experts in e-commerce, in digital marketing. Right now, our series is focusing on e-commerce. And today, we really gave you some super insights on why you should be using SMS messaging as your number one marketing tool going into 2023. You heard it. You can integrate into Shopify and WooCommerce. You can be creating these customer lists. You can segment them. You can use automation and have these great automated campaigns. And even most importantly, and I think Rich is a huge advocate for this, and I know when he said it, you all were like, yes, yes. It's all about the customer experience. And through SMS, you are going to connect with your customer. You're going to make them a part of your community, and you're going to build a loyal customer base that will continue to buy more, return less, and help you to grow and scale. You guys, this has been an awesome and obviously super informative episode of Digital Marketing Intelligence for E-commerce. I'm your host, Marissa Morgan. We'll see you next time. And don't forget to connect with Tragic Rich Rudzinski. I think I can't say his name because I have Invisalign on my bottom teeth. Rudzinski. I'm going to work on that, Rich. I promise. Connect with him on LinkedIn. Drop him a note that you heard him on our Digital Marketing E-commerce podcast. And of course, check out his company, Tragic Media, for all your digital technical marketing needs. Until next time, see you guys later.